Welcome to my office slash music production space. This is where I make music. This is where I edit videos and do most of my work. Today we're gonna do kind of a different video than normal. This is gonna be it's a new gear day, an NGD, and I'm really excited to share with you what it is that I have. This is the HX Stomp. I've already unboxed it. I got it last Friday. I've already been playing around with it and trying to figure out how to use it and what to do with it. But in addition to my YouTube channel, the channel that you're watching this video on, I also write songs and make music. I've been writing for about 10 to 12 years now, and more recently being here in Nashville for about 5 years, I've been doing worship music. I've been writing worship songs, in addition to other songs as well, but primarily worship songs for myself to be able to produce and put out. So the project, the band that I'm currently putting music out under is called Saints Alive. I'll link that down in the description box below. But I've been doing that now for about 2 years, and on top of that, producing as well. So I produce all of the tracks, all of the songs. I write the songs and then produce them. And then also I've been mixing as well. And I've wanted to take the level of guitars, electric guitars, to a new level, because I'm strictly just going straight into my Apollo. And here, I'm just gonna show you here. So this is my Apollo Twin. This is what I use to make music with. And so I've just been going direct. There's a direct option here. And I've just been going direct straight into Logic Pro. And of course, Logic Pro has its amp modelers, and I've just been using those. So in addition to the amp modeler, I would use, some reverbs and delays. I have the Sound Toys pack. That's basically how I've been making the electric guitars. And they don't sound bad, but they don't sound great. What you're probably used to hearing is, like, if you listen to Bethel has really good electric guitars. More than likely they're miking their amps in the production studio, or they're using something like, an interface like the HX Stomp or a Helix or a Kemper, or even the Iridium. I can guarantee you they're not going straight into Logic Pro and using the amp models on there. Because for me, listening back to those amp modelers, the transients, the hits on the note picks or whatever, it sounds so dingy and dingy. It can sound good if the guitars are buried in a mix and they're not kind of the highlighted thing. But if you want like the guitars to be highlighted, it's probably not going to sound the best. So with all of that, I've wanted to invest in something that was going to kind of take the electric guitar sound to the next level. And so I did extensive research. I could have bought a Kemper or a Helix, but those are like over $1,000, and I didn't want to spend that. And then I looked into the Iridium, the Strymon Iridium, which is basically a modeler itself, an amp and IR cab modeler. And the thing with that, it's not an interface. And in addition to that, I don't have a lot of pedals. Like, I don't have a good reverb pedal. I've got a couple of overdrive pedals that I could use. I don't have a great delay pedal, at least like, what most electric guitarists are using. And I'm not an electric guitarist either. So it doesn't make sense for me to buy something like that and then have to go purchase a bunch of pedals and put a thing together. I wanted something that was gonna be what the HX Stomp is. It's a USB interface. I can go straight into Logic Pro with this, and there's the software. I can set up my amp. Now granted, there's only 6 presets, I believe, that you can use. So if you want a lot of effects, you're gonna have to use some external pedals. So that's the only downfall with it. But I wanted something that was suited for me, and I think that this is it. And then in addition to that, I can use it as an amp cab. If I ever did invest in more pedals and I start playing more electric guitar, which I have played electric in the past. I've led with electric guitar. Granted, it was rhythm mostly, so I didn't have like a lot of expensive pedals, just whatever can get me through. But like something like this would be super advantageous to have in a pedal board. Also bass. I played bass in college for a church, and so if I wanted to create a bass rig, I could use this as well. So there's a lot of just really cool capabilities that this thing holds for me, and I think it's best suited for me. Like I said, if I were an electric guitarist and I already had like all of the Strymon pedals and a cool like, overdrive pedal, and it had invested like $2,000 to $3,000 in a pedal board, it would make sense to have the Strymon Iridium for me. But I don't have that. I basically almost have nothing. And I need something that's gonna allow me to just plug straight in and record electric guitar and have really good electric guitar tones. So I think what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna plug all of this in here and set it all up. It comes with a USB cable. And I've got, I'm gonna bypass your interface. So I'm gonna bypass the Apollo and then just go straight into this. Of course, I just use USB cable straight into the Mac. So that's what we'll do. We'll untangle this and then we plug straight into the back here. I'm just gonna plug my monitors into here. All right, there we go. Okay, there we go. And now what we gotta do, we're gonna pull up the software here. So it's connected. Now, I'm still learning this thing. There's so many different preset sessions that you can actually create here. I've actually purchased a couple. So this first one that I purchased is kind of this Bethel sounding patch by Alex Strabala, I believe is his name. And then I have another one here, this Bethel All-in-One. This one's by Simon Rutenbach. And yeah, they design it based on kind of how Bethel has their setup, how they run their amps in a live session. Enough talking, let's actually play something so that you can hear this, because I've got it set up to where we can hear it, so let's do it. Okay, so well, here are a few of my guitars. This is my Gretsch guitar that needs to be restrung, so we're gonna use this. And we'll go and put mono left. All right, so what I'm doing here, I'm actually gonna open up Logic Pro so that you can actually hear like the direct input sound and not just what you'd hear through the speakers. All right, so I know this is not the greatest setup at all right here because you can't really see me or my guitar or probably even this, but this is just my dry signal right here. Nothing on it, just straight dry. So let's engage this preset package by Alex and just kind of see how this sounds. He's got it set up to where the foot switches can control a few different things, such as engaging more drive, more volume, more treble. Everything's engaged right now, and let's just see how it sounds. So let's take off the verb. So you already notice a massive difference right there. I believe this is just a preset that's already in the Helix software. So the first amp is this Essex A30, and it's split. They're running 2 amps stereo. So the first one is the A30, and then it runs to a 212 match G25 cab. And then on the other side, we have the US Deluxe amp with a 112 US Deluxe cab. So there's no IR on this one, just the amp and the cab. I believe what Alex said, this is just what comes with the software. And then from there we go into our EQ and then our verb. Okay, so there's no delay, but he did also create another one with different effects that you can copy and paste into the other preset. So let's just say, I didn't have my EQ and reverb on this. Like let's just say I had an actual EQ and reverb pedal that I was running through the HX Stomp instead of here, then I could add some of those other effects. So like he creates it so it's this depending on whatever you want to use. And then on the foot switches, he's got the first one is a drive and the second one is a decay. So we're just gonna kind of mess around with that. more volume there, and then more decay in the mix. And the verb. So a little bit more dry, a little bit more wet here. Alright, I think that's everything I have. If you guys want to see more videos of just like music production and like showing you how to write songs and produce music, things like that, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to be able to teach and show that stuff, kind of some of the stuff that I've learned over the process of the past couple of years. But other than that, I'm going to keep playing around with this thing, trying to figure it out. And make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications bell if you want to see more just like this. And other than that, we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.